Hello, fellow writers. I'm Lewis, that over there is Tolkien, and you have found the Scripturient Society.
Welcome back, everyone, to your favorite writing group podcast. I'm sure that you all missed us, although this is a pretty normal duration of time between episodes for us lately. Um, Carissa's wearing, these are new reading glasses, right? I haven't seen these before.
Yeah, I got a bunch. I'm just gonna cycle through them, so I figure, you'll get new glasses
Nice.
every time. So
Oh,
I
I
went a
like it. That's
little
fun.
crazy,
Yeah.
but yeah. They're
Well, that
like
over there,
hexagons, octagons, something like that. They're fun.
hexagons, octagons, those are only extremely different shapes. It's okay. We're English majors here. Um,
I
but
can
yeah,
count. Anyway,
the one with you're like trying to count the sides in the in the
uh,
video.
like I'm losing track.
Oh, that's too funny. Well, the one with the changing glasses and the adorable lipstick is Carissa Harlow, aka Catherine, her dark alter ego, aka Lewis, and I'm Ash O'Rourke, aka Tolkien, and we were just discussing the fact that I have like marginally sort of like approached meeting the standard for like cuteness for the pod because
You
lately
look
Carissa's
good.
been carrying the weight of it. So
We like to alternate weeks so that only one of us has to put in real effort at a time. So
yeah, one of us looks cute and the other one looks like a phrase I just coined just now, pajama troll, which
I love
is,
it.
I feel like it's
Accurate.
not a negative, it's just a description. It's just an
Yep.
objective description.
It's
So,
just an objective fact. That's just a new, like, scientific term for what's happening.
pajama troll.
Yes.
Well, Carissa, do you want to tell me how your last few weeks have been?
Sure. They've been normal and nothing like super exciting. In kind of sad news, my aunt and uncle had to put their dog down the other day, so that was really
That is
sad.
sad.
I guess she had like a kidney disease. I don't know what that means. Is it like kidney cancer? Is it just failing kidneys? I don't know. Um,
Hmm.
but I think they saw it coming for a while, but like it was kind of like not shocking, but kind of out of the blue for the rest of us. So it was sad. Um,
Yeah.
but other than that, my dogs are great. They are still alive and
Oh, well,
great.
that's good.
And
Don't let me
um
not to be a bragger or anything, but
yeah,
my dogs are
yeah,
fine.
mine are doing excellent. Um
So are mine.
yeah, that's good. And I feel like I should have more to say, but I've just been like doing work and writing and my dad is watching the Alaskan Bush People show, so I don't know if that's in the background at all. But if you hear anything, they are hilarious. There's the episode I was just watching, first scene I've ever seen, is the boys going to this like little, hole in the wall like bar to try to pick up girls. And it's so funny. I'm like, the effort put into this is actually kind of great. Like good for them.
You're like, nice
But
work. Boys, take
yeah.
notes.
Yeah. It was I was like, you should show this to like normal guys and be
Normal
like
dudes.
this, but without the wilderness living. So,
Yeah. This but urban.
but otherwise, yeah, exactly.
Oh, that is so
My
funny.
dad was like, would you have been able to survive as a bush person? And I was like, no, I don't think
Mm-mm.
so. Maybe if I
No.
was raised that way, I would just know no different, but no.
Every time you start a story with my dad, I'm like,
Yeah.
what are we in for now?
Yeah. Yes. So I got these glasses, right? I got a bunch of different pairs and my dad saw them and they were on sale for Black Friday when I got them and I got a bunch. He was like, "Hey, where'd you get those? Because I need new glasses." So I got him some and I ordered them probably I think end of December, and it just takes a little while for them to ship. So every single day, he was like, "Are my glasses here?" I'm like, "No, it says they're processing." He's like, "So they're here." I'm like, "No, processing does not
Mm-mm.
mean here. It means not even shipped." And he's like, "Okay, so they'll be here soon." I'm like, "Okay." Every single
Yeah.
day. And so finally today, the one day he didn't ask, they showed up and he was like, "They have your name on it." I'm like, "It's because I ordered them. They're yours." He's like, "Did you betray me and buy them for yourself?" I'm like, "No."
Oh my gosh.
So he likes them. They're cool. He got
That is
sunglasses with the
so funny.
prescriptions, which are great. My life has changed since I have gotten prescription sunglasses. Let me tell you, I feel like I can drive so much more safely now. I am concerned for all of the past Carissa like fellow drivers because now it's
Hmm.
great.
Oh my, you're
Um,
retroactively concerned.
yeah, yes. Thank goodness none of them died. Uh, but
That is
you know,
hilarious.
so
Yeah.
that's what's going. I know that's really more about my dad, but the glasses.
The glasses thing, though, too.
Yeah.
That also.
Yeah.
And that you
Exactly.
have healthy dogs.
Yes, which is good. So, um, at I was telling my cousin about this a while back too at work. So I'm an editor. And like there are certain rules, guidelines we have to stay within, but like there's some wiggle room within the rules. And I'm like getting really unfairly annoyed at other people making different decisions within the rules because I have to edit, their stuff occasionally. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
why did you make this choice? I'm so annoyed. Do I fix it? Do I leave it? Because if I fix it, then I have to double check it. But it's fine the way it is, but it bothers me. And so it's just like kind of funny. I'm like,
Oh
you're not
my
doing anything wrong,
gosh.
but I want to
I
list
want to
out
do
some
it
stuff.
different. I want
Yeah.
this to be better. Yeah, that's hard. I found
Yeah.
that very difficult about editing.
Yep.
When you're like,
So
I
it's
could do
like
it
they're good,
better.
but
You're not
yeah,
technically incorrect,
this could
but it's
be.
it's garbage.
Yep. It's one of them is the word that, where people really overuse the word that. And
hmm
so I always want to take it out. And I'm just like, man, can I just give a little mini lesson on how to use that? But I like anyway, it's fine. They're
Currently,
they're good.
my
If anyone is
15-month-old
listening, they're good.
son's
But
favorite word.
that,
It's okay, coworkers. She's totally loves and respects you guys.
yes.
100%. Just stop
I'm just
using the
very
word that so
picky.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riley points at everything and goes, that, that, because he wants you to tell him what that is.
Oh, I was like, is it a question or does he want it?
Usually it's a question.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's want, but usually a want is point and then like whine or ma 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 ma, and that's
Oh,
how we know it's a want. Usually
all right.
that is just a query. Like,
Oh,
wow, that is a
tell me
fruit.
more.
That is a dog. You've met her every day of your life.
She was here before you.
She was pre-Riley, in fact. And he's like, wow. And he can say wow now too. So sometimes he just
Aw.
goes, wow. And it's like
Just in the middle of
amazing.
nothing, and you're like, what is he thinking about?
Exactly. It's so you never know
Wow.
what's gonna like trigger it. Wow. It's so
Oh,
cute.
cute.
Like my not to totally hijack your week,
You're good.
but
I was done.
oh sweet. Okay. Well then I'll tell a story about my cute little niece who is 2.5 months older than Riley.
Hmm.
And I don't think I already told this story, but you can stop me if I have. I'll probably still tell it anyways though, because it's who I am. But
Yeah.
over Christmas, we spent like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day at my sister's. And my brother-in-law was talking to his youngest, Sutton, who is, like I said, 2.5 months older than Riley. And he was like, Merry Christmas, Sutton. And she goes, Thank you. Right, which because she's adorable and she has just a few things
Uh,
she can say. And thank you and wow are two of the things that she can
mm,
say. And she's
cool.
taught one of those to Riley. And then he was like, he's like, oh, you're very welcome. You're welcome. Are you glad that it's Christmas? And then he said like, Merry Christmas again. And she goes, wow. So it was like, Merry Christmas. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Wow.
Wow.
It's like
Aw.
so cute. But like when she says it, I feel like there's more like, wow, like the
Yeah.
meaning
The
behind it.
wonder of a
She's just,
child.
yes, it's like the wonder of a child.
Oh my gosh. That's so cute. It's kind of like uh she only has so many words to work with, so she's like picking the best one. I feel like that's from like a
That's
book or a movie
exactly
where
right.
you have to like the characters has to choose, like probably a computer or something has to choose from only a select number of statements,
Interesting.
and they're always just a little off.
I feel like that is exactly what children do.
Hmm.
That is so funny because that makes a lot of sense. Because
Hmm.
Grayson today, my older niece who's 3, she didn't know the word for gums, like in your mouth gums.
Oh.
So she was like, the slimy part of my mouth. It was like, what? And Maddie was
Yeah.
like, what's in your mouth? Come here. What did you
Yeah.
put in your mouth? And she was like,
Like, no, they're just there all the time.
oh,
What?
the slimy part, the slimy part. Your gums? Those are called gums.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
she's 3. She didn't know. They haven't never
Yeah.
talked about her gums before.
How would
So-
she know?
oh, that's so funny. Yeah. Anyways, children. Let me see if I have anything about me that's remotely relevant. Here's something that's pod related and exciting
Ah,
is
yes.
that we are hosting Story Siren Studios' first ever writing retreat. Woohoo!
Woo!
It's happening May 1st through 4th, somewhere in Texas. The exact location, we have a few in mind, but we're not releasing it because A, you don't get the address unless you're going, and B, we haven't booked it yet because we're waiting for the final number of like attendees so that we know which size place we need. We've got a few in mind. So, very exciting. We do still have a few slots available. So, if anyone listening is like, I just really want to go to a writing retreat, you should totally come and party down with us in the most introverted way, where we all just go our separate ways in a very beautiful, picturesque environment in this really cool house. And all of
Hmm.
your meals will be cooked and provided to you. And there'll be like some cool activities, but mostly it'll just be like time to write in a really nice environment where your kids can't bother you.
Yeah.
Did I say kids? I meant like pets and
I was
kids
just
and
like, yeah.
husbands. I mean,
The people who live
people.
in your house can't bother you.
They can't bother you. Yeah. So we've actually had like a lot of people message about it. So if you are one of them, thanks for reaching out. That's like really encouraging. You guys are so cool. I kind of thought everyone was just going to be like, that's lame. Who would want to go to their writing retreat? But wow,
Boo.
a lot of interest. So I don't think wow. I don't think that this will be the only writing retreat by far. I would love to get to the point where we do these like a few times a year. And
Mhm.
then maybe we do them like genre themed at some point even. This
Ooh.
one is just a whatever, come as you are. If you want to write, you want to meet other writers, you want to talk about writing with other people who this is what that like they care about the most. We'll talk some publishing stuff. We'll talk lots of just craft stuff too that's like just if you in case you just write for fun. But you'll be able to collaborate and, get advice or not get advice or whatever and eat food that you don't have to cook for yourself. So
All
it's
good
going to be
things.
really fun. So if you guys want to learn more about it and or apply for one of the remaining slots, you can go to storysirenstudio.com/retreats. Or just, go and use the tabs on the website like a normal human does. I hate putting in like the backslash and then like whatever, but you can.
Oh,
There's also stuff about it like all over our social medias. So
yep.
go check it out. And thank you
Yay.
guys for your support. And thank you. Wow.
See, we brought that back around.
Yeah,
It
see?
was all by design.
It was all on purpose. Wow.
Uh,
Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else super exciting. We toured a preschool today for my son.
yeah.
So that was fun. And I like there's just something amazing like seeing this tiny little person just like be like, put me down. And so you put him down, and then he just goes and, climbs off, like crawls around, climbs up onto stuff in this classroom, and the facility's not even open yet. So it's just
Oh,
him just like crawling around, but like fully independent. He's like, bye, mom, bye, dad. I don't need you guys
yeah.
anymore, fools. And so he's just climbing around, having a
This is
grand
my
old
home
time.
now.
I live here now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so safe to say he liked it. So we will be
Aw.
enrolling him there. And
Yay.
it's amazing because you're like, look at this little person. He's got his own like ideas and opinions and little passions that we couldn't have orchestrated for him if we wanted to. He just like
Right.
decides the things he loves lights. So he's a little light switchboard he gets to play with. He loves
Aw.
jellyfish, which we've shown him many, many animals, but the jellyfish have become the obsession.
The true the most interesting animal on planet Earth by far is
The
obviously the
jellyfish,
jellyfish.
the cream of the crop of
Yes.
animals the world has to offer, the jellyfish, followed
Yes.
closely by the penguins. And these are not the animals I would have chosen for him, but he loves them like dearly and with a deep, deep obsession. So,
Aw.
and
I love
teeth.
it.
He
Remember
likes
when I wrote
people's
that
teeth.
story about jellyfish?
I do. Oh, he's gonna love
Yeah.
that someday.
It's
And then he's gonna be scarred when he gets
yep.
to the end.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Yes.
so good. That was
But
really good.
anyway.
That's the one that got an honorable mention, right?
Thank you. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and the L. Ron Hubbard was it fantasy and sci-fi writing.
Yeah.
It's a quite
Hmm.
prestigious writing competition, you guys. And she got like
True.
what do you call it? An honorary mention or what's it called?
Yeah, honorable mention.
An
So
honorable
yeah.
mention, which is very impressive. So
I mean, I
so
know.
everyone is
I'm
out there.
still running on the fumes from that. So
I would I would absolutely. That would be one of my
yeah.
tombstone.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So
Uh,
if you want to meet
friend,
Carissa,
daughter,
you want to
honorable
learn
mention.
how to work her magic like she did in that short story.
Woo.
Yeah. And then if you want to hear a lot about my kid,
Mm,
you can come meet me, and I'm gonna probably
yeah.
talk a lot about my kid. And you guys are
I
probably gonna be
know.
like, "Shut up about your kid." Came here to get away from children.
I haven't like seen you in person since he was born. And so I'm like, I wonder what Ash is like in person. Like, does she actually just like in downtime just be like, Riley did this the other day, and you're just like reading, like, great.
I try not to interrupt people with it all the time, but it's like a good like 80% of what my brain is thinking.
Mm,
Now that the older he gets, the less it is like that because
sure.
it's like the less he needs me to be that
Mhm.
involved and the more independent he gets, like the less my brain automatically devotes
Right.
time to it. It's very interesting. The like
I
the
love it.
biology that goes into it all, I feel like. Some of it I think is
Hmm.
just it's some of it's personality, some of it's totally just got to be biology. Um, yeah, but should I have anything else that I was going to say about my child? I don't think so. My life is my child at the moment. We're still trying to build a house, but it's just like, oh, it takes forever to get to the actual like pouring the
Yes.
foundation step. So you're like, yeah, my parents just did that.
Oh
I've been
man, my
watching them do
parents
this
can
for
relate.
years. It is awful.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, our house is
Yeah.
falling apart, which is a big part of why we're looking for a preschool, is because like he's too
Mm,
independent and he can't be
right.
unsupervised at all anywhere in the house. I can't even just be like, okay, play in your room for a little while because it's not safe for him to play without supervision in
Mm,
there. So
right. Like,
we
I
take
want you
good
to be
care of
somewhere
our
you
child,
won't fall through the
okay?
floor.
He is safe and he is certainly not neglected, but I want him to have fun and not just like have to play in a playpen all day. So
Yeah.
he'll
And where you
be
don't have to like watch him every second, where you can be
yes,
like, you have a little
exactly.
freedom. Yeah.
Have some freedom, have some fun, dude, because he's naturally
Mhm.
really independent. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if I said this, this will be my last sort of Riley story, but I'm curious to see how the socializing goes because the doctor, his last checkup said he's ahead verbally and socially.
Ooh.
He is really just dragging along barely the physical milestones because he's so long. I think it's just, and he's got these like really long, really skinny feet that slip out of all his shoes.
Wait, do you mean like his
Um,
weight is low or like he isn't walking
No,
or
he's not
something?
walking yet. Like that kind
Okay.
of. I think that's the only one actually that he's not even behind on it. They're just like keeping
Yeah.
an eye on it. But he crawled later too, so I'm literally not concerned
Yeah.
whatsoever. Don't let anyone make you feel bad if your kid's hitting their milestones. They're hitting their
No.
milestones. Who cares?
I still know what you mean by physical milestones. I'm like, he cannot possibly be low in the like height and weight department because he was
No, he's
enormous.
not. He's not. He has almost for all of his checks, he's been well above the 100th percentile
Hmm.
for length.
Yep.
Although that's come down a little bit. It was like 90 or something at this last checkup, but
Oh,
he's bulked up a little bit. Now he's in the 50th percentile
muscles.
for weight, which is
Yeah.
still not as much as you would think because he's very hefty, but he's just a skinny kid. Uh, all this to
Yeah.
say, he is incredibly social, loves people, does not pick up on any social cues whatsoever, which is understandable. But like, for example, at the nursery, oh, one of the riders coming to the retreat. It's her youngest son, actually. Riley thinks they're best friends. Like he's like, I
Oh.
love this baby. This baby, I don't know if she wants me to say her kid's name on
Oh.
here, so I'm just gonna call him Joey. Like he's
Okay.
like, Joey is my best friend. Joey and I have so much fun together. Meanwhile, Joey gives him these dirtiest looks, and he just like is very particular.
Like,
He's
get
like,
away from
give me my
me.
space. He's like the Carissa
Yeah,
of
I
the
was literally
Carissa
just
and
thinking
Ash
that's me.
relationship. He's like, just let me sit here and play with the toy kitchen by
Mhm.
myself, please. And Riley's like, isn't this fun that we're playing together? Oh my gosh, I love you, Joey. Don't you love me? I'm so glad that we are best friends. And so then poor little
Oh my
kid
gosh.
will like, Joey will like go find like a different toy to play with. Like,
Uh-huh.
you can tell he
He's trying to
looks,
like
I've never seen a
nicely
kid
get
look so
away.
exasperated. Yes, I've never seen a baby roll their eyes before, but he does it. It's I got a
Oh
picture and I sent her and I was like, this is what our kid's relationship is. And bless Riley, he's got no idea. So then Riley just follows him
my gosh.
over to the other toy and he's
Yeah.
like, I love
He's
to
like,
play
oh,
with
we're moving over
Joey.
here.
Yeah, he just does
Oh my
not
gosh.
get it at all.
That is crazy.
I
That
know
is the
it
most
cracks me
relatable
up.
story for me on one end I've
You're like,
ever
please
heard.
leave. I am Joey. Please leave me alone,
I
Riley.
know.
I mean Ash.
So much of the time, like, sometimes at work and sometimes like at church, people will come up and talk to me, and in my brain, I'm just like, please go away, please go away, please go away. And they're just like, I'm so glad that we're friends. And I'm just like, uh-huh.
I'm like, yeah, the feeling is it's miserable. It's miserable.
Yeah, I agree. I disagree.
Thank you.
But
Wow.
look, I like people. I just
She hates
don't like to be
people. Don't
around
don't
them.
believe her.
I like them in
I
theory.
like the idea of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I watch it occasionally, like, because YouTube thinks that I'm a teenage boy. Occasionally, Joe Rogan clips will pop up for me. And Joe Rogan is often saying stuff like, I just really like people. I just think they're so interesting. And I'm like, Joe, that's so great for you. Can't relate. Um, I get so bored so quickly talking to real people. Like, I don't want to be mean. There are people I like, you know what I mean? But
She
like
does not
also
care
I
about
get
meeting you
exhausted
guys
so
at the
quickly.
retreat. She is purely going for the food and the
Right.
picturesque writing space. That's
Exactly. And
it.
you guys are
And to
just
see me.
along for the ride. Exactly.
That's
But
Riley being
no.
like, Joey's only here to see me.
Yeah, exactly. And Joy's like, uh-huh. Yep, yep.
Uh-huh.
Just gonna
Uh-huh.
eat this food and take it into my room and do my thing. But
This was
no.
nice. This was fun. It was good to see you. We'll
Yeah.
do this again in another 10 years.
Yeah.
Got to do
I
this
do
again
like
sometime.
people. There are people I like. I
The
think
more you
sometimes
say it, the
people,
less I believe
I
you.
know. Here's what it is. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. People think we're friends before I'm ready to say we're friends. I feel like I'm in, like in romantic relationships when someone's like, I love you. The other
Hmm.
person's like, wow, it's been 2 dates. Like, what's happening?
That's what
Like,
you.
it's too soon. That's how I feel with people. And they're trying to
That
be
makes
friendly and I
sense.
like them, but I'm like,
Hmm.
we're moving too fast. We got to pull back a little bit. And everyone's just like, not everyone, but some people are just like, we are best friends. And I'm like, no. Like
That
you
is
gotta
so
you
funny.
gotta give me time to get adjusted to this relationship.
This is
So
why
no.
after like I think it was like maybe 3.5 years into our friendship, still when I would say I love you, you go, thank you.
I remember
Still
thinking
do
when
sometimes.
I know, when I was in high school, I was like, gosh, it's so lame when people say thank you when someone else says I love you. It was like an episode of The Big Bang Theory where
Hmm.
Penny says thank you in response to Leonard saying it to her. And I'm like, gosh, it's so mean. And it just slips out. Like, I don't mean for it to come out. It's just like people say I love you, and I'm like, thank you. And
You're
I
just,
think
it's
about it
your
a couple minutes
natural
later, I'm like,
distancing.
I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. Like, what's happening? I
I
didn't think I was
don't
that
know if
person.
I think you've only once ever replied to
Yeah.
my I love you with I love you.
Yeah.
Usually it's thank you
Here's the thing.
or it's stop winking at me.
That's right. I don't say it to anyone, so that's not like unique to you. My parents will say it to me, and I'm just like, ah, I know. Goodbye. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Wow.
you. So I don't know why I have no trauma in my past that would make me reticent to
So
say this. It's
interesting.
just, I think I'm a very like I care about quality more than quantity, so there are just very few people that I've ever said it to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
So, anyway, I like people in
So
theory.
funny.
People are cool when I have the ability to get away.
So you want your own room at the retreat? That's what
I
you're
did.
saying.
It was an
Are you,
option.
is that what you answered?
It
I
is.
wonder because I haven't looked at the specific answers. I just haven't yet, but I can see how many people answered on the questionnaire different things.
Mhm.
And I was like, somebody was like, yes, I want my own room. Were you the
Even if
one
I
who
have
was
to pay
like, I'll pay
extra.
extra? That was
I
you.
was. That was me.
I was wondering who it was.
And I felt so bad because I'm like, here's the thing. So when my cousin got married last year, she did like a very similar like bachelorette party that felt like it was a Google form similar to the one you sent me. So it was very similar.
Hmm.
And so I kind of knew what I was doing. And on that form, when I initially filled it out, it was like a bunch of options like, would you prefer your own bed? Are you okay with sharing? And I was like, "Ah, well, it's my cousin. And then one of my other cousins was going to be there. I'm like, would they think to put me in the same bed as my cousin? Because that would be fine. Like, I
Yeah.
don't mind sharing with her. Like, we're
Yeah.
almost not even 2 years apart. Like, that's fine. We shared
Yeah.
beds all the time as kids. But I was like, what if she's sharing with someone else and then they put me in a bed with a stranger? Like, I can't do that. So I initially answered, I'm okay with sharing with the intention that I would then tell someone, like, can I share with Grace? And
Yeah.
then later I went back in, I'm like, no, I'm not risking it. And so
I'm
I
not
went,
risking.
so when I got there, her maid of honor was like, you're downstairs, there are single beds because we listened to the survey. And I was like, that's great because I totally forgot what I had put and I didn't know if the second answer had gone through or not. So this is a relief.
That is
So,
so there's only one bed is your nightmare. You're
yes,
like, I don't want this true.
it is. That's too intimate. It's I love you on a second date. It's just too weird.
That is
So,
so funny. Oh, that's I see it,
yeah,
and
so
it
I
never
seriously
ceases to be
considered
funny.
I seriously considered when I was looking at the form, I was like, will Ash think to like put me in her room? Because that would be fine. But then I'm like,
Yes.
what if she wants to share with Kendall? Like, I don't
No,
know.
I
So
literally told myself because I was like, okay, if like we do have to like bunk up any people in like a room where someone would have to share a bed because we're trying to
Mhm.
avoid that.
Right.
I was like, if for some reason Carissa, like we don't have enough space and somebody has to share a bed with someone,
Hmm.
like and Carissa ends up having to be one of those because we're trying to prioritize everyone getting their own beds, but the
Yeah,
podcast hosts are first on the docket to lose what they want. So I was
right.
like, I will make sure Carissa shares a bed with me because I feel
Yes.
like she'll be less freaked out by it.
Okay, yes, that is fine. If it is you, that is fine. But I just,
I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be able to get you your own room.
yeah,
That's why I put it on there, but as
yeah.
an option. But I did think, I was like, worst case scenario, I'll bunk her with me so she doesn't have a panic attack and bail.
Yes, yes. That is, thank you for knowing that about me.
I got you.
So it's
Oh
again,
my
it's not that I
God.
don't like you guys that are gonna come. That's awesome. I'm excited to meet you. I'm just very slow to warm up to people. So it's just gonna take a couple seconds, that's all.
She's by
So
the end of the last day, she's gonna be like, "Oh, this was kind of nice, actually. I think I'm
yeah, we
ready to
should stay in
say
touch.
hello."
Yeah. What's your name?
Hi, I think I saw you around the retreat.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I'm excited. I
No,
have to be on
y'all, I
mentally.
met
So
her in a math class and like sprung a weird picture I had taken of her and the guy in front of her on her, and we here we are. Well, how many years later? When
10?
did, oh my God, 10 years later.
Yeah, 10 or 11. Gosh, that's
So
crazy.
you never know, guys.
Yeah.
I really just threw my friendship upon her. And then, like, I think 2 weeks later, I was like, "You'll want to move in with us?" And you were like,
Yeah.
no, I don't know." But we did it anyway.
I think it was a little longer than 2 weeks, but yeah, you're like the
Yeah.
the Bush people hitting on girls. You were just like, I'm gonna go for it.
I'm gonna
And
go
I was
for it.
like, I appreciate the effort. All right.
You were like, well, there are probably worse options.
Yeah, like at least I'll have someone to like walk around campus with and
Yeah.
it won't look like a total loner. That's great.
Yeah. Here we are, a decade later. It's like new
That is
girl. It's our
crazy.
it's our 10th anniversary this year, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe that
Uh,
was last year. I don't know.
yeah, we're halfway between because we would have met in August or
Yeah.
September. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. I have to see what the 11-year one is. Okay, that's a lot of rambling, but at least I was highly entertained by it. I'm sure you guys were
Yeah.
also entertained too, because you love us so much. And now everyone who is
You need to
thinking of
know all
coming to the
my
retreat is not
my
coming.
psychoanalysis. They're just like, Carissa hates us. She doesn't want us there. And I'm just like, I'm cool with it. I just need to have have some time to adjust. That's all. It's
They're
all
like,
good.
okay, so two of the hosts who are going to be there. One of them is not a people person, and the other one doesn't shut up.
Yeah.
I think that I'm good. I think I can sit this one
Like, ooh, this was just like a master class in why not to go to the retreat.
out.
So if you're still interested, you're definitely prime
I
pick.
think if you're still interested, yeah, you're probably perfect for this retreat.
Yes.
Oh, God bless. Okay. Do you have any book recs? Do you have any book recs you want to get into?
I haven't finished anything, but I'm in the middle of Lethal White, which is, I believe, the fourth in the Cormoran Strike series, which is Robert Galbraith, which is J.K. Rowling. That was like a super convoluted way to say it, but it's the it's the like the detective murder mystery series adult
Hmm.
series she now writes. So
Right.
it's good. It's so interesting because like murder mysteries are so hit or miss for me because sometimes I'm like, that came out of nowhere. I don't like it. And then sometimes I can figure it out too easily and I'm like, I don't like that. So like the middle ground is really where I want to be, where I kind of suspect, but I'm not sure. And so I'm still in the beginning phases of like, do I think I know what's going on here? And that's going to make or break it. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
good, but because I'm going to forget, I didn't like the first one, but then I liked the next two. And then this one, we'll see, because I think this is the fourth. So
Hmm.
we'll see.
Nice. Nice.
Yep.
I don't have a new book rec. I am still like living in the afterglow of Powerless by Lauren
Mm-hmm.
Roberts, I think is her name,
Sounds like
which
it.
was just amazing. I think I book recced it on our Christmas party episode, I'm pretty sure, but I love it. Does your
And or
cup say
here.
Carrie?
It does. That was my childhood name in my family. So when I went to my cousin's bachelorette party, this was what they
I
had
was
on all
like,
my stuff.
Carrie. I've never heard anyone call you Carrie. I
Yeah.
think I've heard your dad call you weird things before,
So you
but
can definitely tell like when people met me based on what they call me. My family calls me Carrie. Certain people call me Kay. Other people call me Carissa. Ash calls me Catherine, obviously.
mhm.
And so you can definitely tell. So yeah, all of my cousin's friends call me carry. So it just like it
Oh,
shifts a gear
weird.
in my brain. I'm like, ah, family mode. So, but the
I
cup
am
is nice.
Carrie.
So yeah.
So you use
Yeah.
it. Okay, I was like,
Carissa without the
I
SSA.
always forget. It's so weird to me. To me, you are so not a
Mhm.
Carrie. So
I
that's
know. Everyone always says that. And then my family's like, Carissa is just like a weird name for you. I'm like, yeah, I'm used to all
really
of them. So
okay. Been here.
yeah.
Yeah. Do we have a word of the week?
Yes. Braggadocio. I said that kind of
I
weird.
love this
Braggadocio.
one.
Braggadoceo. Yeah, I got that right. The annoying or exaggerated talk of someone who is trying to sound very proud or brave.
Oh my God, it's me.
The braggadocio
Braggadocio.
about her child made Ash quite a
Intolerable.
oh, I was just gonna go for quite something to be around. I don't know.
Quite something to be around. That's so sweet and southern of you. Bless her heart.
I
She's just
try.
quite something to be around.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is funny. Is it
Oh,
braggadocio or
yeah.
braggadocio? Because I've heard braggadocio, even though I think that's not
You
correct.
know, that is a good question. I didn't look it up. And I was talking to my dad about this too, that I feel like I think there are studies that well-read people are bad at pronouncing words because they
Well,
usually
yeah.
read them.
Yeah.
So either way,
Braggadocio, braggadocio. People are gonna know what you're saying, and they're not too different. I don't think you'd have to be embarrassed either way of
Mm,
saying it. Is it is it
yeah,
braggadocio? Is it like a noun or is it like an adjective? Like in what form of word is this?
it's an it's a noun. So
It
it's like
is?
I believe so, yeah. So it's the annoying or exaggerated talk. So it's the content of the bragging, the braggadocio.
Interesting. I feel like I've heard it used like as a
I could
person,
see
like,
it
oh my
referring to a
God,
person.
he's such a braggadocio.
I think that could work
Or
too.
like his
I mean, that's not the definition
braggadocio
I have, but it could work.
made him quite something to be around.
Quite something to be around.
We'll
Look
get that
up
on a t-shirt.
brag.
Quite something to be
Yeah.
around. Braggadocio. Yeah, my kid has a lot of braggadocio. Is that
Yeah.
correct? He has a lot
Um,
of braggadocio. See, to me, it's just like an attitude.
yes. So Google says boastful or arrogant behavior. So
Mm.
I think yours is good with my definition, and then I don't know. It's
I'm
the content of a
braggadocious.
brag. Right,
I'm
there you go.
braggadocious.
Just use it wrong and you can never be wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, boy, is that true.
Yep. Yeah.
Braggadocious. Braggadocio. I'm braggadocious. I'm gonna make it worse. Now it's starting to sound incorrect.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yes.
Don't worry. I'll use it 10 or 12 more times by the end of the episode, and it'll mean nothing to anyone anymore.
Yeah, that happens with words a lot. When did that happen? That happens to me with words I use a lot in like my job.
Hmm.
Like the word what was it? Performance measurement like means nothing to me anymore. I'm just like what do these words mean?
I was looking up names that start with P for my friend who just had her fourth baby, and all her kids, their
Mm.
names start with P. And
Ooh,
so
charm style.
yeah.
Anyway, go
And
on.
so then so the last name, I guess she was literally in the hospital being induced like 2 days ago. And she texts me from the hospital and she's like, "We still don't have a name picked out. Send all
Oh
the
no.
ideas." And I was like, "What?" And actually ended up picking one that wasn't on my very long and thorough list.
Mm.
But by the end of the list, I was like, P is not a real letter.
Yeah.
It's like
You're
this
like, this is
weird
fake.
symbol.
It's a
I
conspiracy.
see. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I was like, I don't believe in the letter P anymore. Don't think it's weird.
Oh,
All right.
there's
Well,
this.
it should
Oh,
oh
anyway.
sorry. No, go for it.
No, you're good. I was just saying really briefly, there's like this website that is meant to teach teenagers how to critically think and understand like fake news articles. And it says that Belgium isn't real. So it's just literally all about how Belgium is a conspiracy. It doesn't exist.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
So,
that's
well,
funny.
Belgium and the letter P, they're not real, guys. They're
They're
not
not
real.
real. It's all
So,
it's all a conspiracy, man.
yeah.
Um, should we get into the theme for today's episode?
Yes. Let's see. How should we define this? We got a request basically, right? Or a
Yeah,
suggestion.
this was a request from somebody named Aggie Baum on Instagram, and I am so sorry, Aggie. You sent this in April. But
Oh
I
no.
just saw it because I was going through our messages because people were messaging about the retreat. And for some reason, it got sent into like the spam inbox thing. I forget what
Ooh.
Instagram calls it. Don't know how it
Yeah.
got sent there. That's never happened before. So I moved it back out and I replied. And Aggie, I hope that you are still with us, but you were very sweet in your message. She was like, I've been listening since I think it was August or something.
Mm.
And, like it was, she sent the message in April. And she said she'd been like binging our episodes. And she was like, could you guys talk about this thing? And I was like, oh my God, you beautiful person. I love that you sent us a recommendation. And I could not be more sorry that we
Yeah.
didn't see this until now. So we're going to do her suggestion, which is also great because it's one of my favorite topics to discuss. So, and I think it's
Yes,
funny because I think you and I have like sort of different approaches. I'm just guessing we're going to have very different approaches on this.
probably. Some like I mean, different approaches work. So yeah, so should I read it or should I just sum it up? Let's see if I can sum it up. Basically the first steps to developing a book. So like plot, character, setting, like getting all those ideas together and then meshing them into a book. Like how do you do that? Like what are the beginning steps basically?
Turning floating concepts into a coherent story. That is a quote from her message.
Yeah,
And tips for
way
sort
to
of
put
how
it.
to start writing a manuscript when all
Hmm.
you have are notes and ideas, which is that not
Yes,
how they all start, I assume?
it's true. Yeah, once like you have an outline or the first chapter, things are much better. So it's definitely
Yeah,
the hardest part when it's just a bunch of notes to like note to self, literally, and then just like the past, you from the
literally.
past saying, do this, and you don't know how.
Those notes in your phone when you wake up at 2 in the morning and you're like, that
Mm.
dream would be the best book that's ever been written. And so you write it down, and then the next day you look at it and you're like, lollipops have superpowers. And you're like, why did that seem like such an amazing idea?
I so often I write in code, but I don't have like a consistent code. So I just put keywords and then I read it later and I'm like, no, why did I think I would know what this means? I don't. The idea's lost forever.
Love that you've done it not once, but like continue to do it.
Every time I'm like, I will definitely remember this one though. And then I'm like, nope.
No. That's every time that
So,
I wake up, think that's an awesome idea for a book. I'll remember it. It's so good. And then I go back to
right.
sleep and I don't. But then I write it
Yep.
down and it's something like, lollipops with superpowers,
Yeah.
teeth that can dance. And you're like, ugh,
Like,
why?
what did I mean? Oh my gosh. It is like
Yeah.
a code. Crack the code. It's hard. Anyway,
Did I ever have you read my short story? That was
I feel like I know what you're
what
gonna
was
say.
it about? The one where it was like
With the weird title.
an ocean of trout. Oh no, that's a different one. That one was a
Oh,
fully lucid idea that I totally stand by. You're referring to Pregnant with
yes.
Alien Baby, I
Yeah.
think. Yes, fully lucid idea. I stand
Yes,
by it to
I
this day. That's gonna be my bestseller.
am. The title and everything.
Oh yeah, I'm not. That's a
Yes, I
winner.
do
I'm
remember
not
the ocean of
changing the.
trout though.
It was an ocean of trout, and I don't. I can't
Yeah.
express this enough. It's not an ocean with water. It is just a bunch of living trout. And there was
As
somebody
the
in a
water.
as the water. And then there was a big
Yeah.
wave of trout, and somebody's in a canoe trying to go over this wave to get to this island. And I did turn this dream into a short story and submit it for a scholarship. I did not
Yep.
get the scholarship.
That's an important part of the story.
In case
It
anyone was
failed,
wondering.
but the story
Yeah,
does exist.
it
So,
exists. I don't even know where it is now, but like
oh my gosh.
yeah, no, I guess not every dream is meant to be a story, but you never know until you try, and then if you
This is
submit it for
true.
maybe a scholarship
Hmm.
or a writing competition.
You can only try.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, ideas, turning ideas
I mean,
into
the
a
the
book.
best advice and first advice is write them down and not in code.
Not in code, and write them all down, even the dancing teeth and the lollipops that have superpowers and the trout oceans, the oceans of trout. The
Yes,
water-free oceans of trout. Because you never know when an idea you write down, whether you just woke up and you're still half asleep or you fully have the idea and you're awake. Just write it down. You never know. You might want to go back to it. It might turn into something. I will
hmm,
also say right off the bat, I don't think that worrying about marketability has much of a place when you're just getting started with an
Hmm.
idea, forming it into a book. Because
Yes.
even an idea that doesn't sound like it would be like good for mass market, not necessarily true. It could be about the way that you write it. Also, you might start writing it and it turns into something different. And most importantly, trends come and go. Inspiration does not usually come around again the same way. So
Hmm.
ride the wave while you have it. Write your story, even if you're like, but there's the market is flooded with vampire romance. My book's a vampire romance. It'll never get published. Just wait. The trend will come back
It'll come
around.
back.
Write while you're inspired. Take that inspiration. Do not judge it. Do not judge if it is worthy to be a book. At the very worst case, you have gotten some amazing practice in. And you've written something that someday, when you're a famous author, they'll publish, like they do whenever the old authors die, and they're like, here's a
Uh-huh.
partially finished manuscript of something that they would
Yeah.
never want people to see, and now it's published and
But
studied
they're
in
dead, so we don't
colleges.
have to care about what they want. Here, read it.
Yeah. Also, everything gets you closer to your 10,000 hours. And if you enjoy it,
Yes.
it's not wasted time. So, that's sort of
Yes.
my don't worry about the marketability when you are just in the early stages. Don't
Hmm.
even, it doesn't matter. Yes, that's something to think about later if you want to be published, but it's not at all. It's not part of this stage of the discussion for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Um, Especially because then you just get like so caught up in like the future that you're not focusing on the details right now because obviously in order to get to marketability you have to have the book. So it's kind of like you don't want to think about college when you're trying to get through like middle school.
Yeah,
Like
that is,
you like
that's very much what it's
you got
like.
to focus on where you are.
Yeah, totally
But
agree.
yeah. So I think like assuming that you have like okay, so I just keep general files for various like types of ideas. So I have like a file of random titles that I think are cool, and then
That's
like
smart.
I differentiate between ideas and details. So like the ideas are like things that I think could be the entire premise of a story, and then
Mm-hmm.
details are like here's a funny joke that I might be able to slip in somewhere, or here's like a cool
Yeah.
like magical creature or whatever. So I
Yeah.
put all of that in these files, and then if I'm kind of coming up with a new idea, I go through those and just let them kind of sit and see like which of these feels like they go together. Like which
Yeah.
could I use here? What like maybe this setting could work or maybe this, character quirk or whatever. And I put them on one document. So like assuming that you have all of the notes together and like your first step. I mean, it depends. Sometimes I outline
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I don't. But I do think that an important first step is letting yourself like brainstorm and daydream.
Yeah.
And I actually think this is a step I'm not good at because I get the idea and I'm like, okay, let's go. Like I got this, right? Like let's just start and jump in. But the
Yeah.
problem is that if you do that, you're gonna write yourself into a corner probably. And that has
Immediately.
happened to me before. Yeah, you
So
get to like the
quickly.
first chapter and then you're like, and now it's all gone. Like
And that
where are we
was
going?
everything. Yeah.
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 So I think like I think I saw a post about this once, like let yourself daydream because that's a really important part of the process.
Yeah.
And it feels like a waste of time, but it's not.
But it is
And
not.
so yeah, like daydream about the character, like play out conversations between the characters that will never make it into the book because they're just
Mm-hmm.
fluff, but now you
Yep.
know them better. Or I like to write stuff down. So like I just have like physical notebooks and I just say like what is this character like top 5 character traits for this person and I just write them out and then kind of play them through my head and see like what kind of secondary characters would go well with this person.
Yeah.
How to develop that. And then like it depends on if you have more character or plot kind of worked out beforehand. I tend to have plot before characters, so I
Mm-hmm.
I create characters to fit to that plot, but it can go the other way around,
Yeah.
where you have the characters and you say, okay, who is this character really? What would they want? Where would I put them? All that kind of stuff, and then just let your brain sit for a while. And a while could be, like, if you're starting, probably days to weeks, but if you're kind of used to it, maybe hours, maybe days. Like it just
Yeah.
depends.
Could be
Um,
months. Some
yeah.
concepts, if they're tricky, or if you feel like you have a lot of pieces sort of floating around and you're not sure how they fit together, but you're like, I feel like they do. It might take even longer than that. I think finding the common thread
Yeah.
when you've got those sort of floating pieces is like trying to see, do these have anything in common? Is there any way that I can tweak them a little bit so they would feel like they all fit in the world together? And then whenever you have an idea,
Mhm.
I think it makes a lot of sense to do like some journaling. And I don't mean like brainstorm. I mean like
Yeah.
journaling about your thoughts and your feelings about your life that you are living, not your character, and hard things that you're dealing with. Because I think one of the best ways to like pull a story together is to have a really strong theme. And what I always find
Hmm.
after going back and reading something that I was writing during whatever period of time is that whatever I was dealing with is a huge theme naturally in the book. I think that's true for many, many people. So instead of trying to
Yes.
like invent a theme or write to a theme, maybe do some journaling and try and think about why is this the story? Why is this the concept or the setting or the character that's on your mind and your heart to write? And if you write out,
Hmm.
what you're dealing with and what you think about what you're dealing with, it's not like you have to have everything figured out. You don't have to like come to a conclusion, but you might see there's some traits, some commonalities between your idea and your life. And if you see a theme there, you can sort of be like, maybe this is going to be my theme. Like
Hmm.
maybe the theme is grief, or maybe the theme is anxiety or new relationships or whatever it is, that's going on in
Hmm.
your life and you have thoughts and feelings about, and then you're going to work it out probably while you're writing, because that's usually what writers are doing. So I think
Right.
that's one way to sort of try and pull it all together. I think another good way to try to pull it all together is what is something, I think having a conflict is
Hmm.
one of the best ways to like really like boost your story into motion and like
Hmm.
pull things together. So if you can identify something that is a natural threat to more than one of the elements of your story that you want, then like that might not be a bad place to
Hmm.
start. If you give them something
Yeah.
to unite against or to have in common that they have to struggle with. Because for me, I find, and this might just be like a me problem, I I write myself into a corner because I haven't included enough conflict. Or I've like
Hmm.
built up the stakes really high, but the conflict isn't worth the stakes being that high. So like I
Right.
need to readjust them quite a bit. So I think, and there should be all levels of conflict. So don't forget to include conflict in the really early stages of planning. Even if it's not like the big
Yeah.
climactic conflict that's gonna, end the whole story. But like I
Hmm.
definitely would, it'll help you not be stuck. It'll give you somewhere to write to.
Yeah. Well, and because like I think sometimes when you're first starting out, you think, I need this big conflict for the book, but you need conflict in chapter one. And it doesn't have to be like the major conflict of the book comes up right away, but there has to
Yeah.
be some kind of conflict. So like, for example, in Harry Potter, right, the opening, like the whole series is about Voldemort, right? The first book is about the Sorcerer's Stone, but that first chapter is about the conflict of like Harry not fitting into his family and feeling out of place and being mistreated and all of that. It
Yep.
it is relevant to the larger story, but it's not the main conflict of the series. But it still opens up. You have a conflict, you have reason to care about the character. And so, like if you have that starting conflict, it like I do think it's a good idea to have a general idea where you're going big picture. But having even
Yeah.
that small conflict, like with the character, like are they afraid of growing up? Are they, concerned that a friendship is ending? Are they grieving? Like any kind of
Hmm.
like I don't want to say small, like not important, but smaller, like maybe not the major conflict of the story. Start with that, and then you can pull it into the major conflict in some way.
Yeah.
Because I think, for me at least, I like to have a good idea of how the story is going to end before I start to write. So, like, not everyone does that. Some
It's
people like to
no,
just
but
see
it
where it
is
goes. But
easier. I think that might partly
yeah,
be an experience thing. That's just my
uh-huh.
guess. Not that it's, again, not this necessarily that it's like there's a right way or a wrong way, but I do think the more
Hmm.
you write, the more you see the benefit, like the huge benefit
Hmm.
of knowing
Yeah.
where you're going before you get there.
Well, yeah, and even to like the first book I wrote that one day people will hopefully read, not like the stupid ones that came before it.
Like a
Like I
good
did,
one.
yeah, like good one. I did write to the ending, and I think that was kind of the difference between I would one day want someone to read this versus that's going away in a vault and no one's ever going to see it. Like I don't even know why I keep them, but they're still there on my computer.
They're
But
good. They're part of
it,
your 10,000 hours. And also,
it's
you
true.
learn something new every time.
It's
And if
true.
you enjoyed it and you processed your life while you were writing, it was a worthy cause.
That is true. Um,
Cheaper
but
than
like in
therapy.
it's,
But therapy is good too, you guys.
But to, what's it called? Oh my gosh, I struggle with words. Compliment, but to compliment therapy, you can write.
Hmm.
So, yeah, so like that first book I wrote where I wrote to the ending, I feel like it was definitely the first like good book I wrote, right? And
Hmm.
the strange thing is that now, like, how many years later, over a decade, that ending is not even the same. Like it's a totally different ending now. It's a different location.
Yeah.
Like the conflict is basically the same, but everything else about it has totally changed because I do feel like I've, grown as a writer and now I have a
Hmm.
better idea of how to like spread conflict out and all that kind of stuff. It's like the first
Interesting.
book in my series. I like that last scene is so different than what it used to be. But the I needed to write that original ending for me to get started and to know like where it was eventually
Yeah.
going to need to change. Like that original ending had to exist. So
Hmm.
I also think like sometimes you start writing and you probably err on one side or the other, where you're like, it has to be perfect upon first draft, or like, I can make all the mistakes in the world, it's fine, I can fix it later. But you should be
Hmm.
somewhere in the middle where you know it's not perfect, you know you're going to need to fix things, and that's fine. And you let
Hmm.
yourself like go through that creative process. But you also should be putting yourself in a good position to not have to totally revamp it like
Yeah.
entirely, because that's
Yes.
just exhausting and you're probably not going to have the energy to do
Yeah.
that.
Be
So
nice
like,
to future you. Make your
yeah,
life easier in the future so you
exactly.
don't get discouraged trying to go back and
Yes.
edit it.
Yeah. And so I think like writing to the ending, having a good idea of conflict, if you can thread that through pretty well, editing will be a little easier. You can change like individual scenes. You can change like the
Hmm.
character. You can even change, I think, character motivations far more easily than like conflict and
Yeah.
like, the overall theme, right? So
Yeah.
I think just kind of letting yourself understand like here's my main conflict and here's where I want it to go,
Hmm.
like the ending is a good starting point because you're allowing yourself some freedom to change things later, but you're giving yourself a good outline. Even if you're not using
Yeah.
a literal outline, it's a good
Yeah.
outline.
What I've also started doing that is, oh, it's like, it's almost physically painful. It's so hard, but it's a really great way to see, like, okay, these are the ideas that I have that fit together. Here is where there are glaring gaps that I need to fill in before I get too far into the story, is to try and write like a back jacket sort of description for the book. You don't have to do like
Ah,
a whole outline,
yep.
but it'll give an indication of
Hmm.
at least which direction it's going. You'll see, like, this
Yeah.
character must do this. If they don't, then what? You don't have to have the answer when you're writing. Just put like a big question mark and circle it or something, you know? Same if you're like, and
Hmm.
they meet this person, there should be another character here. Put a question mark and
Uh-huh.
circle it. Like, sort of like write out the back jacket of the book of what it could possibly be. And all of it may change. That's fine. It just sort of
Hmm.
helps to like see, like, okay, I'm missing a character motivation.
Yeah.
I'm
It reveals the
missing what's
holes.
at stake. Yeah, exactly. It reveals the
Hmm.
holes. So you could do that with this other thing I'm about to suggest, or you can do it on its own. I've been doing that on its own for the last two books that I've worked on, and it has been just for like the initial stages so helpful to
Hmm.
help me see like, oh, okay, this is why I can't get this story off the ground is because I'm missing these like foundational pieces. If you
Hmm.
don't have enough about your story to write the back, like the flap of the book, you probably don't have all the foundational pieces in place.
Hmm.
So, and it will change. It will all change very much while
Yeah.
you're writing it, but I find it helpful. Another thing you can do, which is really cool, is they have generators online you can use for free. I got these writing dice for Christmas from
Ooh,
my friend Amy, and
nice.
are so amazing. I really want to bring them on the writing. Actually, I'm planning to bring them on the writing retreat. So if you guys come, you
Yeah.
can borrow them. But they're really cool because each one of them, and like I said, there are free generators online you can use too. But there's a character dimensions. There's four dice for different character elements, like for different parts of a character. There's a
Hmm.
dice that represents time, one for place, theme, conflict, and point of view. And so, what you can just do, you have your idea, you've written down, like Carissa said, all the fun ideas that you have. You've got all of the stuff. You're like, how can I connect these all? If you want to do this before you do the little like back jacket flap, description exercise, go for it. Or after, and you can try and fill in the gaps with this. But look, we're gonna do a little test because it's gonna be fun because I wanted to do it.
Ooh.
You guys can
Okay.
have the
Yeah.
ASMR. Try and not spill these everywhere. Okay, so for example, in this one, we have a character who is curious, insecure, shapeshifter, and
Ooh.
senior. So senior to, I guess, their
Oh.
peers. Let's see. Their point of view, an omniscient outsider. So the narrator knows
Ooh.
everything that's happening and it's in third person. The time is present day in the
Okay.
character's hometown. The theme is about identity, and the
Ooh.
conflict is supernatural. So it's a
Ooh.
supernatural conflict. It's the main character versus supernatural power.
Yeah.
So that's all the foundational pieces. of a
Hmm.
story. Like I could just come up with like a back jacket flap right now for something. I don't really have
Right.
one. But what you could just do is do something like this. And if you're like, I have a character already, I don't need the character, just put the character dice aside. Just don't use them.
Mhm.
Use your character. And
Right.
then, same if you don't have a character and you need that, but you have a setting, so don't use the setting dice. Don't use the place or the time if you already know what you're doing. So, and like I said, there's free generators online for all of these that you can look up. There's different ones. I think that this is a great tool. I love it.
Hmm.
What a fun exercise at the very least. Like
Yeah.
super, super fun, but a great way to fill in the blanks when you just need the structure. It's like
Hmm.
it gives you just enough structure, just enough
Yeah.
direction. And if you don't like the roll, re-roll. There's
Yeah.
no reason
You
that
can
you
change
don't, you
it.
do not, yeah. Like
Not set
this
in
is
stone.
no one is judging you. This is not a
Yeah.
competition. There's no rules here. If you're like, this doesn't quite fit. This isn't quite what I had in mind. Re-roll one
Hmm.
or all of the dice. It's totally fine. And obviously, if you're like smart enough, you can do this without like dice too. Or you could just be like, go talk to other writers. I think
Yeah.
that's why, writing groups and talking about stuff is a great way to get inspiration because you hear what other people are working on and you talk
Hmm.
to them about these are the ideas I have and they're like, "Oh, that would be so cool. What
Hmm.
if, XYZ?" And you're like, "Genius." I would say when that's the case, like never be afraid to like use an idea or inspiration somebody gives you. It's not like
Yeah.
I think we're all a little afraid where people are going to be like, that was my idea. I want credit. I guarantee you, by the time it gets on the page and you get to your last draft, it's going to be so different. It's not going to be
Hmm.
recognizable.
Yeah.
But it got you to where you needed to be. So
Hmm.
that's
Yes.
those are my like quick tips for like if you want to get started and you're like, I don't have quite enough pieces to get started, but I have
Yeah.
pieces that I'm excited about.
Yes. And like kind of jumping off of that, I don't have them with me right now, but they're called like the emotion thesaurus and the negative personality trait thesaurus,
Yes.
positive. Like if you just look through it, just like flip, find a random page, or if you don't have the book, just like Google like positive character traits. Like stuff will come up
Yeah.
and just kind of look through it and see like which words stick out to you, right? And you could pick like you could play around with it. Like, I'm going to pick all A adjectives to describe this character, right? So, what are those going to be? You can pick like really big words that are like, kind of crazy, not commonly thought about as adjectives to describe people. Like, you can do whatever you want to just kind of get started. You can do it with settings. There are like fantasy name generators or location
Yeah.
place like just come up with some names, just get something to generate some names, and those might spark some inspiration. Like
Yeah.
in the you'll read the name and you'll a place will kind of inevitably come to mind. And you'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's interesting, or like, no, that's too rural or whatever.
Yeah.
So like internet searches are actually really useful. Like that seems like stupid advice, but like I did
No, it
not
really
discover this until
is.
recently. I used
Yeah.
to not do
No.
that, and it's so
It's
helpful.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Um,
totally agree.
yeah. So, and like Ash said, if you're like, well, I have a character, but I need plot and all that kind of stuff, just daydream. Like, if you're thinking, I want to write a fantasy book, then okay, you need to come up with some kind of magic system or maybe just like a magical ability, some kind of like a
Hmm.
magical creature, whatever. You could use like werewolves and then brainstorm about some ways to make them different. Or you could come up with your own entirely different system. But like I said, if
Yep.
you're letting yourself daydream. Just like I do it like before I go to bed at night. Like I'm just laying there trying to get to sleep, just like play out some scenarios. Like create
Yeah.
a friend for the character and have them talk. Have them fight, see what kind of ability or class in school or like career you think would fit with that character and just let yourself kind of play it through. And then when you get stuck, you can use the internet. So,
Yeah. No,
and
it's
to fill
totally
in those
true.
gaps because like Ash was saying, if you do like the back jacket summary, it will reveal like where you're missing details. And so those are the details you might need to look up just to have
Yeah.
before you start because you definitely don't want to get like, certainly halfway, but you probably don't even want to get like halfway through the first chapter and then realize you've written yourself into a corner because you're
Yeah.
gonna lose
It's
your
discouraging. It's a
hope
huge
essentially.
bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, oh wait, I thought this was better. And especially if
Yeah.
you're really excited about a scene that comes later. So I'll say this too, and I never do this, but you can do it. You don't have to write in chronological order. Like you can
Yeah.
start in the middle of the
It's
book.
true.
And so if you're thinking, here's a scene I'm really excited about, how do I get there? Just write the scene before it goes away
Yeah.
and
There's
see
a whole
like the
school of
scene before and
thinking
before.
that's about like writing your favorite scenes and then
Hmm.
you sort of rearrange them. I think there's an analogy for it, like the bracelet or something, or the bracelet method,
Oh,
or the jewelry method, something like that. I forget. One
yeah.
of the authors we had who guested over on That Pretentious Book Club, our sister podcast, this is what she used for one of her books that she
Hmm.
was talking about. Um, and it's like an actual school of thinking about how to outline a book. And it's where you write the scenes. You write the scenes that you're passionate about writing while you're passionate about them. And then
Hmm.
you save them and then you place them chronologically after the fact. And
Yeah.
then you write to fill in the gaps and connect them.
Hmm.
So totally something you can do. Do
Yep.
what you're inspired to do while you're inspired to do it, I feel like, when it comes to
Yes.
writing your first draft.
Yep. I also find, and again, I don't remember if this is like now that I've done it, but like multiple times before, it's comforting. But sometimes just like opening up, I write in Word, right? So I don't know where you plan to write, but I guess figure maybe you want to write it by hand,
On
maybe you want to use
parchment.
Scrivener.
With
Yeah.
quill and parchment, thank you. There's an app
Yes.
called Tome that I really want to use. If anyone has used it, let
Oh.
me know if you guys like it because it's on my wish
Okay,
list.
cool. Yeah. So like whatever application you're using, right? I open up Word and I like save the document and I make it a thing, right? And then I just like go through like fonts and start like writing out the title or like character
Hmm.
names. And it's just a good way to like feel like you're getting stuff done and start getting those like creative juices flowing without necessarily
Hmm.
putting anything in stone, right? Because like I
Yeah.
feel like when you first start to write, you feel like this is the opening sentence of the book and this is the second sentence of the book. And so it can feel kind of daunting. But
Yeah.
if you're just going with titles or just like
Hmm.
random things, like find a font that fits it. Like yeah,
That's so funny.
I mean, I write in
Interesting.
Times New Roman, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
main part, but like I have different fonts for the titles and everything because that just gets me in the zone of like this is a different book. This has a vibe to it. This has like a general,
Interesting.
concept going
Hmm.
on. And so it can be a good way, like within the first 5 minutes of you sitting down to actually write, like if you're purposefully going to start, you don't have to
Hmm.
like jump in. You can
Yeah.
like sit there and kind of let the ideas marinate for a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
So,
I like that. I think maybe it's about finding your ritual a little bit when you're starting out. Like, what is your ritual for starting a book? You're saying
yes.
font. That's so interesting because to me, font means nothing. Like,
Oh, hmm.
it's so weird. And I
You could do
remember as a
color
kid being
too.
like fascinated. Well, I used to be fascinated with colors and fonts. So maybe I just got it all out of my system really young because people used to be like, stop, just use
Like
Times
I'm
New
done with
Roman. Oh
that.
my God. But like for me, because I'm like a very like a forward motion person, it drives me insane to have to like wait on other people to do things, to get things. Like it drives me crazy. And of course, the whole process
Mhm.
of not only writing a book can take a very long time, especially if you have, other things that are like fighting for your time and attention. But also the process of
Mhm.
editing takes a long time. The process of getting published is like I think it's 18 months to 2 years is the average, I think, for if when an agent signs you to when your book is on shelves. I think that's the
Yep.
that's the average I heard recently on Novel Bound, by the way. Novel Bound is it's a huge book podcast out there, like one of the biggest book club podcasts. They're very funny. They interviewed a literary agent recently.
Ooh.
What is her name? I forgot the literary agent's name, which is horrible. But you probably will recognize it. I recognized it. I recognized the agencies that she's worked for, and they interviewed her recently, and it was really interesting. So if anyone out there is interested in traditional publishing, I highly recommend you go check out that episode of Novel Bound. Super informative. I definitely took notes. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, it's a really, really, really long process. So
Hmm.
I I like to feel like I'm accomplishing things. It helps me
Hmm.
feel encouraged to move forward. And
Right.
so what I usually start with is my ritual is to do like format my first page. It's also my
Hmm.
first page, but I format it like you do a manuscript. So
Right.
it's size 12, font Times New Roman. The title is in all caps centered and then has by Ash L. O'Rourke, and like on the upper left is your name and address, on the upper right is your word count, and that's typically about how you format. I think I'm not forgetting anything.
Hmm.
The front page basically of a manuscript if you're planning to submit it for publishing. If you're
Right.
not and you're just writing for fun, or if you're not sure, maybe that's not as like motivating to you. But for me, whenever I do that, I feel like this story has legs. Like this
Yeah.
story has
It has
oomph.
begun.
It's begun. It has potential. I just have to get it
Hmm.
there. And then I
Yep.
drop down to the next page. I like 6 spaces down, put chapter one, and
Hmm.
then I get started. And like
Yeah.
that's like my ritual that gets me excited.
Right.
So maybe if your thing is font and font makes you feel like this is the vibe, this is the book,
Mm-hmm.
this is happening, whatever makes you feel like this is happening, like do
Mm-hmm.
it. If you're like, I want to light candles and sit down with a glass of wine, and that's my ritual for starting a new book, like do it. Have
Yep.
something that makes you feel
Mm-hmm.
encouraged, that makes you feel like this is happening. I have what it takes to write this story. I have an idea that I'm passionate enough about that even if I'm missing pieces, this is worth me figuring it out. And
Yeah.
I mean, motivation is like way more than half the battle, just like keeping
Yeah,
yourself encouraged.
it
Um,
is.
so I think having your ritual, be it choosing a font that gives you the vibe or
Mm-hmm.
being really boring and just being like, I want the first page of the manuscript to look formatted correctly.
It's got to look professional when I
It's
begin.
gonna look professional. Yeah, I'm the only one who's gonna look at this for a very long time, and I don't know
Yeah.
why. It just is. Um, that and then when you start writing, because I think also what Aggie had mentioned was maybe like tips for when you start writing a manuscript. I just started doing this. I mean, I've been doing this to some extent, but I've started getting like very, also very formatted about how I keep my like notes page. Like I have the document open that I'm writing in, the manuscript, and then I used to just call it cut material, and it's where I would cut stuff
Mhm.
out that I would be like, oh, it's good, but it doesn't fit here. Or when
Yep.
I would go edit it and be like, I'm cutting, to reduce word count, because we all know that I love to just like shred documents. And
Yeah.
so put it all over there because you don't ever want to delete it, but I like to take it out. I have started changing this document and it's just like notes and things to remember. And the earlier you start a document like this, the better. And it
Yeah.
now includes, there's like multiple sections. Let me see how it starts, like in my head. I have a reminder section, and this is everything that I want to go back and check for. Like if I changed a
Yeah.
name, I want to be like, did I change this everywhere? Go back and check. Or if I'm
Hmm.
like, I don't like, the setting for this scene, but it's not important enough to stop my vibe right now, like to stop my
Right.
role. So I'll like write it down and be like, change this scene to something better. And so
Hmm.
just keep that sort of checklist going. Or if you're like, the book happens in a set period of time, I'm not sure if the timeline of all of the days matches up to that duration correctly, which is so hard to
Right.
keep straight. Like, just put a note to remember to go check it. And so I have
Yes.
like reminders, and then I have important details. So like the first moment that two important characters meet, I have started copying and pasting that part over. So instead of
Ah.
being like, okay, now we're like, 10 chapters in and he's trying to think of the first time he saw her. And I'm like, now I have to scroll back 10 chapters and get
Yeah.
myself distracted looking at this and all the things I would change about it now to remember. Now I can just be like, that was an important moment
Hmm.
and I have it over
It's right
here.
here.
So I do
Yeah.
not have to go scroll back there and get myself distracted. So I've started doing that with
Yeah.
like important moments or like an important discovery. And then if
Hmm.
you have some sort of mystery, and I think even if it's not a mystery book, a lot of things are like,
Sure.
mysteries. You drop,
Yeah.
foreshadowing, you drop hints. So I call them clues. And so I have like a
Ah.
clues section of my document where I'm like, finds this letter, like this is the page where it happens, finds this letter, this is what's in it. And or
Hmm.
like put a quote or something. So then similarly, I can be like, that really helps for when you're going through to be like, did I drop enough hints? Did I drop too many?
Right.
Do they make any sense at all? And so you
Yeah.
kind of see when you put them all in there, like, okay, yeah, that's enough clues. That's a good red herring. Or you're like, no, none of that is helpful. This is
Yeah.
obnoxious. So, and you can refer back to it. So again, you don't have to scroll back and distract yourself. Can you tell that that's a huge thing that I do?
Yeah.
I just feel like I just rewrite like the first like 100 pages because I'm always scrolling back for details.
Hmm.
And you don't have to have your characters completely figured out before you start. If you do, that's
Right.
great. If that's the thing that you have, awesome. That's almost never me. I have like, one or two things about them, and it's usually
Right.
nothing physical because I don't think about the physical descriptions usually.
Mm.
So, when you write them, put in the first descriptions. The first thing you ever say about a character, put it in there. So I have a character section, and even if it's like a background character, like there's a cook, and I think I say that like his skin is like perpetually flushed from cooking all the time or something, and
Hmm.
he's very grouchy. And so copy paste, I put that in there
Right.
for the cook. And so
Yeah.
now I know this is how I described him. So if I'm ever like, how did I describe the cook again? What kind of person?
It's
I
right
can just go
here.
look at that. I don't have to go search for this character that is going to show up like one other time in the whole book. And
Yep.
then same for oh, that character, the love interest. I forget. Did I give him green eyes? Did I give him
Oh,
brown eyes?
yep. This one
I
gets me
don't
all the time.
remember. I know. It's so now you just go put that. Like you soon as it's not like you have to decide it all in advance and then go write it in. I'm doing the reverse now where I'm writing it however it comes to me and then I go, oh, right, this is an important moment, or oh,
Yeah.
right, this is the first time I'm introducing the character,
Right.
copy, paste into my other document, my little reference document. So,
Mm-hmm.
highly recommend starting to keep a reference document early in the process. And
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you have to have all the stuff in the reference document figured out first. That's some people's process. That's amazing if that's your process. I can't. My brain doesn't work that way. But if all you
Right.
have is like a concept or a setting or you just want to get started writing and see what happens, do it. And then you'll see where the holes are. But for all of the things that you come to you naturally, put the important stuff in a document
Yeah.
because you'll
You
just,
think
it's
you'll
so much
remember, but
easier.
like you won't. Because you're
You
like, I
won't.
will never forget what color his eyes are. And then like two
You'll
days later, you're
forget.
like, do I like blue or green eyes? Like it changed.
I don't
Like I don't
remember. I
know.
don't like what color did I make his hair? Did I
Yeah.
change his hair color? Like just put it in the reference document.
Yep.
Not because you it's not because you can't like scroll back to find it, but if anyone out there is anything like me, you will get distracted. You're gonna go
Mm-hmm.
back and be like, I'm gonna rewrite this. Even if you don't, I'm not like consciously doing it. I'm just all of a sudden I'm
Right.
typing and I'm changing
Mm-hmm.
things. And it's not on purpose, it's just what happens. So
Yeah.
I think that
So
that can be useful.
do you mean that like they're literally like side by side on your screen, or you just have it somewhere else to pull up when you need it?
I have them both open at the same time, but I'm usually just working on one at a time. But they're both open because I go back
Okay.
and forth
So
between
like,
the two a lot.
yeah.
Like if I had two
Right.
screens, like if I had a
So,
monitor, I would be using both.
mhm.
Yeah.
Right, just pop one on one. So I've been doing, and I just started it for the book I'm writing right now, and I think it's just specific to this book. It's helpful. I actually have like the document that I'm writing, and then like split screen on the other side. I have the outline and like the notes page that I keep for everything, right? So
Yeah.
they're up at the same time, so I can just kind of like dart over,
Oh, that's so
and like
nice.
it is shockingly helpful.
It's shockingly
I
helpful.
don't know why. Yeah, it's just like. It keeps me like centered on what's supposed to be happening next. And then like when it comes
Yeah.
down to like character descriptions or even themes, I tend to write down like when I figure out what theme I'm trying to communicate, I write that down and like
Hmm.
various like if I come up with a quote that I want someone to use to like embody that theme or whatever, if I just like glance at it, just the words being there it keeps
It's
it
so
fresh in my
weird.
mind. So I
Yeah.
notice the opportunity for that to be reasonable to add. So that can be, I don't know if that's a pro tip or like a beginner tip, but
No,
it's
it's
very
true.
helpful.
And it's weird because I often feel inspired when I'm writing in a journal, and I enjoy
Hmm.
the act of writing in a journal or a notebook. It's a very peaceful thing to do. But I find that unless it's really early
Hmm.
stages of brainstorming, trying to reference an outline in a notebook that takes my eyes off of the screen where I'm writing, it gets very hard to not like lose my train of thought or to like lose the
Hmm.
energy that I'm writing with. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So, as much as I love using notebooks and journals and will continue to, like, I think it is worth if you've written it down in your journal and you think it's something you're going to have to refer back to frequently, also put it in a document on your computer so you
Yes,
can see it. Because,
I agree.
I mean, it just takes you right out of it. It's a huge
Hmm.
bummer.
Yeah, I have a habit of like I'll write it down, like all the ideas and stuff, and then I transfer the stuff I want to keep to like the
Yeah,
file on my computer.
that's
So it's like
smart. You're
I
smart.
weed through the stuff I don't want, right?
Yeah.
And then I keep the stuff. And so then the journal is just kind of like
Genius.
this nice memento of like, here's how it started, but I don't need that
Oh,
anymore. I need this to work with.
that's so
So,
nice. What a very
yeah.
wise and balanced way to view it. I'm going to apply
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Excellent.
It's good. And also, like, I just find typing cathartic. So
Yeah.
sometimes if maybe you're feeling, not super creative, but you want to get started or whatever,
Mhm.
literally just like typing up the notes can remind you, like, oh, yeah, I'm really excited about this part. Or,
Yes, it
oh,
can.
I don't think I need
Same
that, but
with
what if I
the
change it to
working on your
this?
reference document. If you just have
Yeah.
been copy and pasting stuff over and you want to like organize it or like link part of the
Hmm.
document to a different part of the document, like just working on it, even if you're like, I
Yeah.
don't feel like I have the creative power,
Hmm.
doing something adjacent to it is
Yep.
still probably not a bad idea. Might
Yep.
get you might get you working.
Yeah. I mean, I think too, it's like, this is not the advice maybe people want, but like at some point you just have to sit down and start writing it.
Hmm. Well,
And
what's
that's
the
like the
quote
hardest
by
part.
Ernest Hemingway is what there's nothing to writing really. All you have to do is sit at a typewriter and bleed.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just gotta take that first step. For me, like the act of sitting down to do it is so hard. And then I
It's the
start and I'm
worst
like,
part.
oh yeah, I love this. Like this
Yeah,
is good now.
honestly, it takes me about a whole page, sitting down and writing about a whole page before I'm like, "Oh, this is amazing," and then it flies
Mhm.
by. But whereas
Yeah.
it used to just be like I would have ideas and sit down and just like in a haze of creativity, just be writing, like don't even process the act of sitting down and writing the first page of that day. Now
Hmm.
it's not. Now it's like everything else in life is vying for your attention and your brain. And it's like,
Hmm.
is this really your highest priority right now? And you're like, shut up. It needs to be. It is. It is. And then for the whole first page that I'm writing, I'm still trying to convince myself of that until I lose myself in the story. And then you're in, and then it's good,
Right.
which is also why I'm super psyched for the writing retreat because there will be way fewer,
Hmm.
if any, distractions to pull me out of
That's
the
right.
zone, which will be so
Hmm.
nice. Um, so excited about it. But yeah,
Yes.
there's probably more to that. But I got myself distracted because I'm thinking about the writing retreat that I am very excited
Like
about.
now I'm
So,
excited. Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of how you want to feel about the book too. So like back to the idea of like get your conflict settled, know where you're going, fill in the holes. Like I think you should be excited when you sit down to write it. Like,
hmm
obviously, sometimes in the process, you're gonna have to just kind of chug through and just be like, I don't want to do this, but I have to.
hmm
But especially when you're first starting, like, do
Yeah.
it when you're most excited for it.
Yes.
And if that's it, like, I don't want to give you bad advice. I don't know how old you are. I hope you're not like a teenager and I'm giving you terrible advice, but like, if it's like 1 a.m., just do it. You know what I mean? Like, just stay up and do it at
I
1
don't know.
a.m.
Is that terrible advice for a teenager? Because I was
I,
like 13 and I would like stay up on our family computer until like 3 or
yeah.
4 in the morning,
No, same, but I
like
don't know if that's like
writing.
healthy. So I'm not a
Oh,
doctor.
I turned out fine. I
But
don't know.
yeah, I'm everything is fine now. So it's cool. And then if you're not a teenager, but either one is fine. I just don't know which one you are or anyone listening to this.
I mean,
Like
honestly, staying
just
up
do
at
it
4
whenever the
a.m.
inspiration is
now
there.
would hurt me so much worse. I think maybe we need to be like
I still
adults.
do it
Adults, are
occasionally.
you listening? Shh, don't you stay up past 1 a.m. Don't do it. Is it good for your
I
health?
I've
No.
I've had like times where I try to go to sleep and I can't, and I'll lay there for like 2 hours and I'm like, fine, I'll just get up and write. And it's like 2 a.m. And I'm just like, all right, let's do this. And then I write the scene and I'm like, sweet, now I'm tired and I can finally get to bed. So
Never,
that does
never in my
happen if you
adult life has that happened.
really.
I bless and knock on wood. I think maybe twice in my whole life have I ever had trouble falling asleep. I have trouble
Like
not
ever?
falling asleep. Yes, ever. I have trouble not falling asleep at any point, and I mean this at any point in the day. I could lay down and go to
You could
sleep.
just nap?
I would love
Wow.
it. Do I? No, because if I need to
I
nap and then I'm woken up before my body is ready to wake up, I am like a monster. I can hear myself being this horrible, cruel monster, and it's like I can't stop. So
Oh
I
no.
do not take naps, but I am ready to nap at any time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I for most of my life, I've had like varying degrees of insomnia. So I struggle to get like I need to be exhausted and then I still take like a couple hours most nights.
Yeah, hobby is
So
the same way.
I don't know what
I
that
mean,
is. Yeah.
that's why you write so much. That's why you are so creative and your brain is just like on a different level. My brain is like,
It's
sleep.
exhausted.
You tired. You think much today. You big thoughts. Now sleep. Like that's all
This is
my
why
brain does.
this is why I like unironically listen to ASMR now because they're like, you deserve to rest. And I'm like, yeah, brain, listen to this. I deserve to sleep.
My brain is like, you like Venom, like the alien monster that's like talking to them. It's like, you're tired. You need to go to sleep. And I'm like, we just woke up. And it's like, eat food, Nutella, whole jar, go to sleep. And I'm like, that is a great idea,
It
actually. I
sounds
think that is
good.
what we need.
It's a trap, and I know it's a trap, but
But you're right. And we could go to sleep right now. So,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah. So I don't know, just like if you're going to start, especially the opening chapter, start it when you are most inspired to do so. And again, that might take a while, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I do think there's sometimes this frustration too, where like you feel like you've been sitting on an idea for so long and you're like, oh, it's time to write it, but I just don't know. Like, first of all, you're allowed to work with another idea in between. I think short stories are really good for this. Like, it's not going to take as much time, so you don't have to commit as much to it,
Yeah.
and you'll have a finished product, and so you can get some of those
Yeah.
other like lesser ideas out. Again, not lesser as in less important, but just like smaller.
hmm
Um, but if you
Or be
really
like
do want
me
to
and
write,
Be a coward and write just a bunch of first chapters because you're afraid of short stories.
Look, you can do that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I can't handle things being unfinished. So
Yeah.
I like to finish them to give myself that like achievement
I
where I'm
wonder
like,
why you have
achievement
insomnia.
unlocked. And yeah, for sure. Sure. It's not a mystery. But yeah, so like just whenever you're most inspired, but you know, sometimes you're gonna have to like force the inspiration and just sit down and do it. Like I know that I'm always thinking like, okay, well, I have like there's a 3-day weekend coming up. I'm like, I'm gonna write. It's gonna be great.
Hmm.
But then I feel like I've put so much pressure on myself that Saturday comes around and I'm like, I don't have any words. Like I don't know what to write.
Yep.
I'll just like watch TV for a little bit or I'll do this and then I
Yeah.
don't write anything. So
Yeah.
sometimes you just have to be very intentional about it. Like give yourself an hour to just
Hmm.
like veg and not do the thing. And then you got to sit down and like read through your notes and let yourself daydream a little bit at your desk and listen to some music or light some candles or whatever
Yeah.
and just like do it. Because like you
Hmm.
can rewrite it later. It's okay. I know it
Yeah.
doesn't feel okay, but it
Yeah.
will be
But it
okay.
is. It will talking to herself. It'll be okay, Carissa.
It's
It'll be
fine. It's
okay. We'll fix
fine.
it later. Yeah, I think it's not about I think it's often not about forcing the inspiration because you can't really force inspiration. You do there are parts of the book that you won't feel inspired. You just have to trudge through to get through. And
Yeah,
you can rewrite them later when you feel inspiration about it. But for the
right.
most part, while you can't force inspiration, you can force yourself into a situation where you know you've been inspired before. So
Yeah.
if it's writing in a dark room with candles lit, if it's going outside with a mug of tea, like
Hmm.
whatever it is that you know you has made you feel inspired before, you know what to do. If you know
Hmm.
like I take a bath and I just have so many ideas and I just want to I could just write in my journal, that's where it takes the force yourself to put down what you're doing, force yourself. You're not going to crochet anymore. You're not going to read another chapter as much as we love reading, and it's great for writers, especially. You're not going to binge a whole season. You're just going to watch,
Hmm.
one or two episodes and set an alarm. And then you're going to go force yourself, though it is exhausting, to not take a nap, Ash, and to light the candles or make the tea or run the bath and do whatever you need to get in the space where you are inspired. And then if you still have to trudge through, you
Yeah.
trudge through. But I think most of the time, if you if you have the discipline to put yourself in the situations where you feel inspired, then you will be inspired. Not always, but I think a lot of
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And one last thing, at least for me, when I've gotten into a habit now where when I do start like my opening chapter, I like parallelism and I like things to kind of match up and be symmetrical and everything. So I like to start all of my chapters similarly, either with like
Hmm.
a word that I use repeatedly, or like it'll be dialogue, or it'll be a one
Hmm.
sentence paragraph, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like three or four. Or I do, like a sentence fragment, and it's always how I start the chapters. So I don't know, just like really practical, like how do I start the chapter? Try
Hmm.
opening it in all of those different ways and see which one fits the best. And then like you don't have to copy that throughout, but just like try it. Try the sentence fragment, try the one sentence, try the several sentences, try the dialogue, and just
Yeah.
see like which one fits too. Because I mean, I think it's fun to read the final draft like that. Like when books
Hmm.
have very similar opening lines to chapters, I just think that's really fun. So I like
Yeah.
to do that. You don't have to do that, but just like
Hmm.
word of advice from someone who likes to do that. Sometimes like playing with even just like the sentence structure of those first couple sentences can be helpful to just
Yeah.
get going.
Yeah. I'll cap this off for your parallelism because I have a tip
Mm.
for when you're getting started at the end of each chapter. So
Ah,
there. So we'll
yeah.
cap it for you so your brain will be happy and maybe you can sleep tonight.
Woo. Yeah.
But also because it made me think
Insomnia.
of when inspiration is you find that it's can be difficult to grasp and hang on to, especially when you're first starting a book. When I'm writing, I try to never end a chapter at the natural end of the chapter. Like
Hmm.
end in the middle of a moment. Don't
Yeah.
end like after you're like, that's the whole scene. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yep.
It'll be so hard to start fresh from the next scene. Be like, and the end of that scene, and then start the next scene, even if it hurts you and you hate it and you know you're going to rewrite it. Just start writing the next scene and then end it. then end, don't end it, but end writing for the day. Be
Yes.
like, okay, I'm done. I've written two
Hmm.
paragraphs into the next scene, or I've written like three lines of dialogue, and I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna write the next one. I'm just gonna leave it. It's
Hmm.
a much easier jumping off point to go back to, especially when you first
Yep.
get started and you feel like you're just trying to like get an idea of what is this world and what is going on. Make it easy for yourself.
Yeah.
That's my tip. Et
Yeah.
me, et
Yeah.
brain.
Dash.
Brain is like
Yeah.
sleep
All the time.
all the
Mine's like,
time.
never close your eyes. And I'm like, I'm so
Do
tired.
not sleep.
You
Sleep.
must write 10,000 books before you die. You don't have time for this.
Oh my gosh. Ugh, insane. Crazy.
Yep. But
Ah, the
anyway,
brain.
that's
Yeah.
all I think that's all I had. I hope that's helpful. It's kind of
Yeah.
hard at this point to remember what it was like to be a new writer. And then if you're not a new writer and you're established, like not, like you've written books before, it's like you
Hmm.
probably have rituals and it's like you just
Yeah.
gotta just
Yeah.
dedicate to them.
But to be honest, I think a lot of it, and this is also where it's good to have friends who are writers, or at least people you can tolerate, because until we talk about stuff, this is why sometimes I intentionally don't do notes. Often it's just because I'm lazy. Like today, I did actually start to write notes because I love this topic. And then I was like, actually, no, I want to see what we come to naturally in conversation. Because I learn a
Yeah.
lot about myself and my writing when I'm
Hmm.
talking to you about it. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
you'll say something and then I'm like, oh, I believe that too, actually. I've never thought about it. But yeah, I completely agree. Or
Right.
no, I disagree. If I disagree, what do I think? What am I doing differently? Do I
Yeah.
like that I'm
Why
doing
am
it
I
differently?
upset by what she said? Yeah.
Yeah, why do I hate that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So it's good because it can sort of help you. Sometimes it just takes, I guess you could probably just do it on your own too, but this is why it's helpful to talk to people. You probably have rituals that work for you,
Hmm.
unless you're like a brand new baby writer, which we love you. Absolutely love the
Hmm.
brand new baby writers. Thank God you guys exist. Please keep doing what you're doing and keep inspiring more new writers. But if you've been writing for any period of time, you probably have rituals. You know what it takes to get inspired. You just have to actually think about it and
Yeah.
realize that you do know. It might take talking about it and disagreeing with us to
Hmm.
realize that you're like, oh, they're stupid. I do not agree with
Yeah.
them at all.
That wouldn't
Then,
work
oh,
at
what do you
all.
think? That's a
Yeah.
horrible idea.
Yeah.
That's
We didn't even
fine.
we didn't even like touch on outlines and like I've used outlines occasionally, but
Mhm.
you don't use outlines, right? Or do you?
I do now. I didn't used to
Oh,
at
okay.
all.
Yeah.
I've started
So
to. And I don't use them as a like they're not like rules I have to follow. It's more
yeah.
like guidance to get me from
Here's
point
where
to
to go if
point.
I get lost. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's also like an
Exactly.
entire thing we didn't even really touch on, which some
Yeah.
people find super helpful. So,
Yeah. Oh, and there's a lot of also I guess that can be like sort of a final tip. If you felt like this was such a super helpful or unhelpful conversation today, and or you just wanted to know more about outlines, you're like, this is great. They didn't talk about outlines, and outlines
yeah.
are very important to me, or I've really wanted to try them. Google it because there are so many different styles. There's so many different ways of thinking about outlines. Like J.K. Rowling's method for outlining you can look up is crazy detailed, and I've tried it before, and it is a little too detailed for me. I think it's really good for like reverse outlining, which we've talked about previously. And if you guys want us to talk about it more, we certainly can. I do love reverse outlining, but for me, that I like her method for reverse outlining. I wouldn't use it
Hmm.
for outlining. There's also, like I said, like that bracelet, like jewelry method
Hmm.
for outlining for where you like write the individual scenes when you feel inspired. That's one way to do it.
Yep.
Um,
I
but
used to do
just
the
off the
literal
top of
like
my head, those are
Roman
the two.
numerals and then
Yes,
like you go
there's
deep
the
into the
Roman
outline.
numerals.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do the thing where you draw the arc, like the rising action, falling
Yep.
action, and you write it out visually. So many ways to do it.
Get a
If
conspiracy board.
get a conspiracy. If you want us to do the legwork and talk them out with you guys, we certainly can. Message us. We do read the messages, especially with the no good or spam filter, which I'll try to check more often.
Yep.
But I had gotten locked out of our Instagram and just not checked it for a little while, so it was solely Karissa, and I did not check the messages. I was like, Carissa's got this, and she does. To
I
be
did
fair,
not. I did
I
not
did
have
not.
that.
I did not have that one. Sorry, Aggie. Neither of us. We failed you on that one, but we will be more aware. So if outlines are something you want us to talk about or reverse outlining, let us know. Otherwise, recommend doing a Google search and trying out a few different types of outlines because you never know if it works for you until you try it. So
Yep.
that's that's all I've got on this topic. I hope that was helpful, Aggie, and thank you for
Yeah.
messaging us. And I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. She's like, I've already left this podcast. I
She's like,
I
I'm
gave
not
up on you
listening
guys a
anymore.
long time ago.
I feel slighted and I left. We're like, please come
I
back.
messaged you and you never replied to me. How dare
Yeah.
you? I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Anyways,
try.
that is that. And I could talk about it forever. And if you guys come to the retreat, I probably will. You're gonna be like, go away, Joey. I swear. Just kidding. It's Riley. Joey would never.
Oh.
Um, do you have any writing updates you want to share?
Kind of just like maintenance updates. I told you guys last time I'm doing the whole like choose your own perspective novel. So that's going really well, and I feel like I've found a good balance right now with like I actually go to work and then come home and write. And I don't normally do that. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
most of the stuff I've written since I've gotten this job has been like on weekends, on holidays, like in you know, spurts of like
Mm-hmm.
vacation time. And now I feel like I'm actually in like an interesting place where I'm actually writing for like an hour instead of
Mm-hmm.
like seven, you know, and that's like
Yeah.
kind of new. And I think it is because I'm working with an outline this time around, so
Mm-hmm.
keeping my train of thought is much easier. And it's like, okay, now I just follow this outline.
Yeah.
And because I'm from different perspectives every time, so like some of the
Yeah.
chapters are really short. So it's like 5 pages from the same point of view. So when I go to the next chapter the next day, it's okay that I haven't like necessarily carried on that train of thought because it's a different person.
Yeah.
So just like I think the format of this book is really conducive to like having a full-time job for whatever reason. Didn't do that on
Nice.
purpose, but fun hack for that.
That's
Um,
cool.
so I think it's been going really well. I'm about a little over halfway, at least in terms of the outline.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like it's getting kind of long, but like it's basically going to be double the length of a normal book because it's choosing between two scenes most of the time. So I think it's probably going to probably count out around 700 to 800 pages, and then we'll see what I need to cut and if that's even, if that's just going to go in the vault for a while and it'll settle, or if I'm going to try to query that because it's different than a normal novel. I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah,
You and your
but
word
it's going
count is
well.
insane to me. It's great. And you're
I
not the only
know.
one. Some of our other writers
I
lately, like in
know.
the group, I've been like, y'all are on another level. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, I've basically written a full-length book. It's just like I'm not done. Like it's there's so many points of view, but I do love it. It is really fun, and I actually think it's coming quite naturally. Like the various things that you do and don't know based on the different
Hmm.
scenes you have read. And I think I'm doing a good job of like in the main scenes that everyone reads, hinting at stuff that is just going to go over some people's heads, and that other people
Hmm.
are going to be like, aha, I know what's going on there. And
So
I don't know.
interesting. I
Just,
don't know how you're
I'm so
doing that.
excited.
My brain would hurt so bad. Oh my God.
It's the outline, but also I'm like really excited for you to read it. And like it when you do, if it's like terrible, it's gonna be so hard. But I think
Am
it's
I
good.
gonna
I
read
think it's
some of
good.
this at the writing retreat?
So
I'm bringing my printer. I am actually gonna bring my
maybe
printer and like paper and ink so people can print
print
stuff if they
stuff.
want. Yeah. Because I think it's a
That's
fun
cool.
way
I
to
mean, I'm
like
probably
share
not gonna print,
samples.
yeah, sample, not like the whole 800 pages,
No,
but
well, I probably don't have enough paper for that, but I thought like if
yeah.
people wanted to like share like samples of stuff they're writing, it's
Hmm.
easier than being like, here, read my phone or like read my computer,
Yes.
but don't only read this far, on the document.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like stop here. But yeah, so I mean, I think it's one of those like someone's gonna have to read it all the way through to tell me if it's good. And the hard part is like because it is choose your own perspective, I feel like I'm gonna need more people to read it before I know if it's good because they need to go down
Yeah.
various paths to
Yeah.
see if it works or not. So I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe my mom will read it, and maybe
Hey,
like,
mom.
some relatives. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
me all
like
the
I'm
time.
gonna have like I'm already planning like a form. I'm gonna have people fill out where I'm like, tell me all the paths you chose, and like, so I know which
Interesting.
paths are good and which are going together well. And I actually, this is also what I'm thinking about. Like, I'm trying to predict the paths that I think will be most commonly chosen out of certain pairs so that I
Mm-hmm.
can put like fun Easter egg stuff on the rare ones. So like maybe there's a little motivation to pick the one you don't think sounds as exciting, but like there'll be exciting stuff on all of them. So I'm just like, I wonder if like personality wise, I'll be able to predict what
Interesting.
people will choose. Because like I know what I would choose in these various scenes. And so I feel like I'm putting more stuff in the opposite ones because they're not the ones I would have picked. But I don't know. So we'll see.
Interesting.
Yep.
Because I don't feel like you and I would pick similar ones at all. I mean, I don't know what
No.
the options are, but
I-
I feel like we wouldn't.
Let me think of like, okay, so one is there's a point when they have to go underground or there's like a castle in the sky. What would you pick?
I think I want to go underground.
Okay, I would pick the castle.
Really?
Yeah. So I feel like you're gonna pick the opposite path of me in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
but that's fun because those are
Yeah.
probably the ones that like I'm either overdoing or underdoing because like I like all the scenes, but there are definitely
Yeah.
some where I'm like, this is just an option I'm giving because I want people to have another option, but like
Hmm.
this one is the scene I like, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Funny.
excited. But
Interesting.
I don't know how much longer it'll take, but it is coming, so definitely done.
That's exciting. That's going to be so cool.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yep.
I have been writing actually, which is great. I've been doing a writing challenge on Way Better, which is it has been helping. It's definitely been helping me. Gino invited me to the challenge, so thank you, Gino, my one of my
Ooh.
co-hosts over at TPBC. Um,
Yeah.
every now and then she'll like send me an invite to like a Way Better challenge, and I'm like, oh my God, stop making me be healthy. Ugh. It'll be like, work out 4 days a week or like drink water every day this week, and I'm like, ugh, stop it.
Stupid.
Fine. Ugh. But yeah, so one of them is a writing challenge, and I've actually been doing it. And for my Cinderella book, because I have this insane idea that I'll have it finished before the retreat so I can write something
Ah.
different at the retreat. I
Hmm.
mean, I say insane. I have 100 pages. It's not insane to think that I could
Yeah,
have it
it's
finished before
doable.
then, especially if I actually keep writing like, every day or every other day like I have been. So I'm gonna work on it some more today, but I actually, and I'll probably use my dice some a little bit tonight because I'm getting to the point in the story where I'm like, I feel like I need like a little bit more meat here. I could just sort of like write straight to the next plot point, but I really want some more stuff to happen in between. And I
Hmm.
think the reason it feels thin is because I still have some of that like foundational work to do. So,
Right.
anyways, and it's hard. It's the story
Yeah.
of Cinderella mainly. It's, it's a different take on it, but like I know which
Hmm.
points I'm writing to. So I
Yeah.
really need to make everything in between really interesting and unique. So
Hmm.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's going. It's going. I have 100
Yeah.
pages. I'm really hoping to be done with it by the retreat.
It's like the maintenance period. You're like, no updates, it's just going well. So let's hope that
It's
continues.
going. It's going, and
Yeah.
that's a success in itself. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with the listeners? All the
No, I think
beautiful
that's
little
it for me.
writers. All right,
Yeah.
sweet. Nothing else except for remember to apply for the retreat if you guys are interested. It's May 1st through 4th. It will be in Texas this time. It will not always be in Texas, but this time that's where the majority of the attendees are for this one. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for people to get here. The more people who apply who can go, it actually lowers the cost per person because we're not trying to make a ton of money off this. I don't know if you guys can tell by the everything about our podcast, but we just want everyone to get to go and have a really cool, really fun, inspiring time where they can relax and only have to worry about writing and all things writing in books and all that good stuff. So if you guys are interested, apply. It is free to apply. To reserve your spot after the application, if we're able to accept it, if we've got room, then there is a deposit, but there's all the details are in there. So go check it out if you guys are interested. And if not, no worries at all. We are not offended. You can reach out if you want to get added to our email list. Just let us know what a good email is to send you guys information about future events and news from the pod, all that kind of stuff. And follow us on social media. We are the Scripturient Society. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. Um, if you want to support the pod, you can check out storysirenstudio.com. That's our production company. You can also go to the scripturientsociety.com. We own that domain too. It'll send you to the same place. So go check it out. You guys can support the pod there too. We've got some cool merch. We've got cool crafts. We've got a book of writing prompts. I keep forgetting that I
That's
did.
right.
I was just like, surprise, a book of 25 unique fantasy writing prompts.
Yeah.
So go check it out. I think it's like $5 or $6 on Amazon. Like again, I was like, what's the absolute cheapest that I can make this without losing money on it? So
Right.
that's kind of the approach. So if you guys are looking for a little bit of fun inspiration, that's not a bad place to start either. So if you guys want to support the pod, go check it out. Leave a review, share the pod with your friends, and join our writing group on Discord. We would love to talk about what you guys are talking about. We'd love to hear about what you're working on. We would love to hear
Ooh.
you disagree with us and say, you guys are insane. This is not how I prep books. This is how I, write my
Yes.
books, and they're way better than yours. Tell us all about it. Tell us how superior you are. We love to. I love a braggadocio. I love a
Yes.
braggadocious, a
If you can't
braggadocious
tell
person.
by the everything about us.
For real. Yeah.
Just
But
saying.
I think that's everything we've got. So until next time, keep writing.
And we'll see you on the next page.